was riding through downtown with a military buddy of mine, and we saw all of the homeless people that was laying on the ground around different buildings, and it seemed like the population has gotten larger. And we started talking about solutions and how many in the government are claiming that they are spending millions and millions of dollars to throw at this issue. And we were thinking about how when we were in the military and we were out in the field, and sometimes we had to put up tents for higher NCOs or the officers. And some of those tents, it was fairly decent living environment on the inside after they gotten set up. We were wondering why the government hadn't decided to, or maybe they have and somebody has turned it down, where they can build a tent city away from major cities where they can ship or bus people who are homeless to an area where they'll be provided food, shelter, all the medical care, be placed in recovery programs, and go through whatever treatment program that they need to go through to help them start living one day at a time to get off of drugs, including alcohol, and also helping them learn some life skills to be able to find employment before they're allowed to come back into major cities all over America. I'm sure we have enough military tent size tents that are big enough to hold a number of people. And we have the space in America to build these places. And it is one way of helping the issue. It's like maybe building a military base, except made up of tents out away from the cities far enough to where the person cannot just walk away and go back and start living on the streets. But yet they'll be in a safe environment surrounded by some kind of security, and also have all the resources that they need right there in that tent city that is built. Because if America's soldiers can go out and live in those situations, sometimes for months, and I know there were many that were out in Desert Shield / Storm that lived out in tent cities for a very long time, and they've had to break them down, carry them to a different site, and build them back up. And then after the war was over, many of them lived in it for a very long time afterwards. So it may not be the Holiday Inn, but it's definitely a place that would be better than being out on the streets and sleeping outside around buildings and on the hard concrete ground with just a sheet over you and what seemed like a basket from the grocery store full of whatever you can find on the streets or whatever you're given to just push around. Just some ideas that we were throwing around as far as a solution or help with the homeless situation in America. We have the resources, and unfortunately, we thought that maybe it's just never going to come to an end because a lot of people who are part of the system are making a lot of money or living very well from all the money that they're getting from donations and the government to so-called help with the homeless situation instead of seriously tackling it. I figure if we can come up with something that simple, I'm sure they thought of something like that and just decided, that's too easy, and then the money would stop flowing. What do you think of the tent city for the homeless to help them get the medical care, help with education, help with recovery in a tent city to where they'll be able to get back on their feet and then slowly reintegrate or sent back into society where they can function and take care of themselves? We'd love to hear your comments and concerns or questions if you have any, because this is something that is very hard to see, and it's all over America.